On yesterday's Media Watch, BON reported on the case of Su Jingxiang, a farmer and security guard from Henan who was convicted of a crime he didn't commit. He was sentenced to 16 years in prison in a Luyi County court. Su's bad luck appeared to change on March the 15th of 2005 when he was acquitted of all charges and released after 13 years.
Now, he later filed an appeal for compensation for his wrongful incarceration. 4 years later, Su has received around $75,000 in restitution. Let's cross now to BON's Kevin Jia, who's been reading online what Chinese people think of the case. Kevin, what's the general reaction from internet users here?
Well, from what I'm reading here, many people are saying that $75,000 is just not enough for the 30 years Xu spent behind bars. They pointed out that during the years he spent inside, his house collapsed, his parents died, and his wife divorced him. In addition, his children couldn't continue their education because there was no money to pay for it. She lost everything because of the mistake made by the People's Court.
And Kevin, what do they say about the decision to pay compensation to Su?
Some say it shows the development of Chinese judicial system. Chinese people should fight for their own rights as Xu has done. Other people say the compensation should not be paid by the country or by taxpayers, but say the officials responsible for the case should pay. They are also saying Xu's success shouldn't be the end of the matter. They want the officials who made this mistake back in 1992 to be held responsible.
Thanks, Kevin. Now, Hala, just apart from what Kevin mentioned, some of the figures in this case, that it took so long, you would wonder how it actually got to this stage in the first place. 5 years passed before a provincial procurator found discrepancies in the case and then decided to ask the courts to re-examine the conviction. And the court convicted him of burglary on 8 different cases, but after re-examining, they said there was no correlation between any of the cases. They were all separate cases with different people actually accused of the crimes. They said none of the accomplices were the same. No lethal weapon, no stolen goods were found or attached to this man, and the only testimony was not a signed statement by the farmer himself, but a signed statement by somebody else. Yeah,
no, it's absolutely astounding. And what the other thing that people are picking up on is that he was actually released 15 days before the term was completed. So just over 2 weeks before he would have served the entire term was when he was released back into society. So obviously these figures coming into it are really grabbing the public's attention. A lot of talk about the amount of compensation, but people certainly agreeing that it's just not enough to compensate for such a long period of time.
Indeed, a rather sad comment indeed from the man himself, saying, "My biggest regret is that I wasn't there when my parents died. I'm not a good son. I did not fulfill the duty to take care of them when they're old. It's a loss I can never make up for."
Absolutely.